everyone, Tams here. Long time no video. Wow. If you are watching this, thank you. It's been a year since I have published a video on YouTube. So if you have found this and you are taking the time to watch, thank you. I've decided to come back for just a bit and try YouTube one more time and see what happens. So it was about this time last year that I made the decision to trim down some things, extracurricular activities in my life so I could focus on some more important things, and I'll spare you all the details. But one of the things I did cut out was YouTube because I was consolidating a lot of things that I was doing with Paper Tams, and I was posting and still continue to post quite a bit of content on Instagram. It was much easier. I didn't have to worry about filming, editing, rendering, producing, uploading, none of that. Instagram is a platform that I personally enjoy looking at. So I decided to put content there, what little I had for Paper Tams, and I made some other decisions about Paper Tams. This past year, I cut out all the classes and workshops that I used to teach. I used to volunteer quite a bit at the local library. I used to teach some classes at a friend of mine's stationery store, and I cut out a lot of that just because some other things in my life that were more important to me required my focus and time. But I do appreciate all the comments. Several people, I mean, I don't have like thousands of people reaching out to me, but several people did continue to watch the videos I had, follow me on Instagram, wrote me very nice direct messages, comments, and things like that. So I certainly appreciate it. So what handful of you that find this video today, thank you so much. And I will try to explain to you what's been happening in my creative life. So like I said, I did make an effort this past year to consolidate all of my creative activities. As you know, I have done a lot of work with letter writing, journaling, teaching classes on both of those hobbies. I've also gotten into gardening in the past year. I've done some videos on reading and just all types of creative forms of creative outlets that people may choose to do. So last year I came to the realization that I really was getting quite a lot out of my gardening. I enjoyed it quite a bit. And you know, we have to choose how we spend our time, and time in the garden was helping me both physically, creatively, mentally, spiritually. So that was my number one hobby that I wanted to spend time on. I still continue to write letters. I still continue to keep a journal. However, I did not continue to post videos about these topics because what time I had, I didn't want to spend making videos. I wanted to spend trying to figure out how I could use those outlets in a better way. It had gotten to the point where I was making things just for the video content instead of making things that were benefiting me, or the whole point of doing them. I did get rid of my P.O. box for Paper Tams. That just it had slowed down quite a bit. My letter writing has been really focused on a very close group of people that are part of the Tampa Bay Letter Writers, and a lot of my creative activity goes to that club. It's something I do for free in my own time, and I enjoy it immensely, and I have a nice little group of people that are local people that are interested in letter writing and learning about different things that you can do with putting pen to paper. I did continue to journal, and like I said, I did try to figure out a way to consolidate all these hobbies. So my journal now, I still have my Midori insert. I went back to that after trying several things. I just really enjoy the Traveler's Notebook system quite a bit. And I have been keeping a garden journal. Here's a little bit here. It is still the the glare, but it's still the 019 Traveler's Notebook insert that I'm a big fan of. I have been for years. Each day of the week I just jot down something that's happening outside, in nature, in the garden. I do try to go on a nature walk a couple times a month. And that's usually what happens on the left side here. And then on the right side, I do try to practice my sketching, watercolor, and I try to just draw something that's happening out in the garden each week. There has been a couple of times when I've skipped a week, but that, whatever. That's the great thing about the 019 insert, is you can put in the dates that you want to work on it. So still continue to be a big fan of the Traveler's Notebook system, the Traveler's Notebook inserts, and the Midori paper. Then for my reading and my library, I still continue. I love books. If you follow me on Instagram, you will see that I'm always sharing shots of my ever-growing library and books that I'm reading and things of that nature. But I have found that this past year I am very much drawn to gardening books. So you can see there's a pattern happening here. And it just so happens that my favorite type of book is an epistolary style of writing, and that can be fiction or nonfiction, but epistolary writing is the writing that's in the form of journals, letters, diaries. So as an example, a book that I've been keeping at my bedside and reading every night, famous gardener, her name is Beth Chatto, British gardener, and I have both her garden notebook, so this is a diary about her garden throughout a year. I also have her letters between herself and Christopher Lloyd, another famous gardener in Britain. If you know anything about that, or if you know anything about Great Dixter, you'll know who Christopher Lloyd is. So those are the types of books I'm collecting. Those are the types of books I am reading, and I'm also a part of a wonderful book club. We meet maybe every other month, and there's usually a fun fiction novel that we tackle. This month we're reading a classic, reading Huckleberry Finn, and so that's pretty much where my books and reading and where that focus has been. Again, consolidating my love of the garden and just trying to make the most of the time I have for my hobbies. Now, as far as the studio, I know a lot of you have sent me messages how much you love my studio. I'm going to be honest, it was a wreck pretty much from October until the spring, and I did start to get back in here. I had told myself I didn't have time to get into the studio, and I really felt the effects of not doing something, even if it was just for 15 minutes a week, coming in here. And I'll tell you, the thing that got me back in here was, again, trying to figure out a way to consolidate my creative endeavors. And so this spring, when I was potting up some plants to share from my yard to share with some other friends, I ended up figuring out that I could take a lot of my paper items, because Lord knows I have tons of it, and work that into my gardening. And so I'll insert a picture here of the type of things I've been doing in the crafting world. So I'm trying to use up all my supplies and use them toward my gardening habit as well. So I've been making some watercolor tags for like when I give away plants, and just packaging up little seed packets, things like that. So I thought I'd insert a photo somewhere in here so you can see an example of what I've been doing. And that has gotten me back into the studio, inspired me, renewed some type of creative spark that was in me. And so making the effort to consolidate all these things has been a wonderful prompt, really, for me, I have found. So I thought I'd just share with you what's been going on there. Now, as far as the snail mail and letter writing and all that, like I mentioned earlier, I am a member of the Tampa Letter Writers group, and we meet regularly. So I am usually one of the leaders of the group that puts together the agenda, if you will, and we've just had a really good time. It's been no pressure on me like it is when I have to teach classes. It's very laid back. We are just there to have a good time and write letters. We usually have a reason to write. One month we made cards and fun envelopes for recipients of people that get Meals on Wheels, and that was a hit. So we will probably continue to do that. Everyone, of course, writes letters to whomever they want. And then we've incorporated just some fun little things here and there, but nothing too crazy. It's very relaxed, and I have found that to be much more enjoyable than worrying about teaching a class, making kits, making an agenda, making sure everyone um, gets something out of the class. It's been much more fun to just put all that creativity and energy into a club of like-minded people that are pretty laid back, and they themselves want to um, do something as well. They want to contribute to the club activities. So that's been a lot of fun and much more manageable. So in addition to the club itself, what I decided to do with my letter writing, scaled back on a lot of the pen pals that I had because everyone was kind of coming and going, and it got a little bit out of hand. Honestly, I just could not keep up with a lot of it. And by stopping, well, not doing the classes anymore, what was happening is as I taught classes, a lot of people would want to exchange letters with me because they didn't have anyone to write, which was fine, and that would last just for a couple of letters. That was fine, usually exchanging some type of craft or something like that. But I did find that I was not able to keep up with that many letters, especially as some things progressed in my everyday life, my career. I do enjoy I do have a day job. I enjoy it very much, and some great things have happened this year. I've actually been promoted, so I have more responsibilities, and I've really enjoyed that, and that's where a lot of my time goes now, in addition to family, of course, and personal things. So, so yeah, I did scale back a lot on the letter writing. So that is now really, I spend a lot of time just with the club itself and any activities we have going on with that group. And then I broke it up into quarters of the year, into seasons. So, of course, this winter, when Valentine's was here, I did do a Valentine's from Virginia project. And a lot of you that followed me on Instagram, you know about that. Some of you may have even received Valentine's from Valentine's. I'll insert a photo here of that project. If you'd like to know more about that project, let me know. And then this spring, I participated in a Jane Austen letter writing society. I had a pen pal. We exchanged just a few letters, nothing crazy. And that was a lot of fun, finding someone that loves Jane Austen as much as I do. That was great. This summer, I am doing something because I have a lot of stationery and a lot of stationery for children because I used to teach at the library, volunteer, and do a lot of things for children. I made some kits for family friends and their children, and they've been a hit. So we've done this little thing called Magic Mail this summer. And as you can imagine, it does incorporate Disney, and I've got a little bit of Magic Mail here. I thought I'd share something with you along those lines as soon as I finish rambling. And so this fall, of course, I usually do something with Owl Post. I love Owl Post, and if I continue to do any more videos, I will elaborate on that with you if you're interested. But part of the whole reason for this video is really to touch base with everyone and see. I did a poll on Instagram, and I did get quite a bit of feedback that people wanted me to do YouTube videos. And I was a little bit stuck for content. I know a lot of people like this rambling tea chat that I do, and that's fine. That's very manageable for me to do. I thought I'd toss out a couple of other ideas for content. I've had several people that were interested in starting their own letter writing club. I could share with you more information on how to do that, how to put that together. If that is of interest, I could share with you more about my garden journal and nature. What I'm doing is called nature journaling, and I am following some of the teachings of a gentleman named John Muir Laws, and I can tell you more about that if you're interested. I can also go into more of the seasonal things I'm doing with the letter writing if you're interested. For instance, for the magic mail, I thought at the end of this video I'd open up what's in here and what magic mail is. And then before I stopped making videos last year, I had started something called Bon Vivant on a Budget. It was a little different. It was applying creativity to lifestyle, and a lot of people really enjoyed that. It was a little off topic from my regular pen to paper stuff, but a lot of people said that they enjoyed that. So I continue to be on a budget. I continue to try to be a bon vivant on a budget. I've still got more tips and tricks, so if you're interested in that, I'd be happy to elaborate on that. But really the point of this video, if all this equipment works and things go well and I can get it uploaded, and you happen to see this, because it's been a long time since I've made a video, I have no idea if the algorithm is going to work or not, or if this will even show up. But if you made it this far, I appreciate it. I'd love your input on the type of content you'd like. How-to videos are going to be tough. They do take a long time to make. They take quite a deal of planning, filming, editing, but you know, little things like this are fun. I think I can manage it. I'm going to try. We'll see. And it's always, this is a time of year that I usually enjoy making videos, because it's going toward the end of the summer, so there's some things that I do for vacation and stuff like that. I usually take some time off in August, September. So there's some things happening there. We'll go into fall after that. So I usually do an owl post project, which is a lot of fun. And then we go into the holidays. So there's quite a bit going on in my life that could make for some fun content for the things that the people that usually watch my videos, the types of things they would like. So I would like your input. With that being said, I'm going to close out by opening up some magic mail. Now, what is magic mail? I promise you this is not turning into a Disney Channel. Although I do love watching Disney channels on YouTube. I love the Disney community. I do live here very close to all the theme parks here in Central Florida. We go through phases with the theme parks. We almost always have passes to Universal because we never get tired of Harry Potter. And I'm going to turn a little geeky on you here, but that's why I've saved it till the end. We do enjoy Harry Potter all the time. Have friends and family coming in all the time, so it's fun to go over there. Disney is a little more expensive, and we go through phases, so we're able to get annual passes, and we've had some in the past years, and we enjoyed them, we loved them, and we just kind of burnt out on things, and we didn't have any in the past year. But we are super geeks in my family, and we're very much excited about the new Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in Hollywood Studios, so we're going to be doing Disney passes again in the coming year, and I'm going to do that on a budget. I am someone, I'm going to admit, I do love a lot of the Disney things. I can turn into quite the Disney nerd. Not as bad as some people. And I'm fortunate. I work with very creative people in my day job. And what we do is very much inspired by the world of Disney. Disney is just so wonderful to me in terms of creativity and inspiration. I feel very fortunate to be able to just pop over there. And I love things like their gardens and their props and their decorations. I appreciate that sort of thing so much. I'm not a huge Disney character person, but I do appreciate all the work they do to make the environment, and have a lot of fun with that. So magic mail is basically mail that either you get from people that is Disney inspired, or it's Disney things you order and have shipped to you that is Disney inspired. If you look up magic mail on YouTube, you'll find all sorts of people sharing things. They share snail mail, they share pins. I don't know if you guys know about the pin collecting. There's some exchanging of that. It's a lot of fun, and it's another great way to prompt kids if you're looking for a summer project for children to get into exchanging mail or having pen pals. You know, just some of the things they exchange your like little stickers and things like that, and you decorate the envelope with a little Mickey Mouse head or something like that, and you call it Magic Mail, and you just make it fun. And I have found that anything that prompts children to put pen to paper and just take a moment and do something that's offline is a good thing. And I have found quite a bit of success with Magic Mail, Snoopy Mail, and Harry Potter Mail. But knowing that we're going to be doing Disney in the upcoming year, and that I am getting back into a few things, and I'm on a budget, I am preparing because I do enjoy wearing t-shirts and things like that to Disney. So I thought I'd share with you just a few things today. And the first one is a letter from one of my letter writing club members. One of the things we do is we make artist stamps. If you don't know what artist stamps are, I can elaborate more, or you can Google that and find out about the underground world of artist stamps and Ray Johnson and Fluxus and things like that. So one of my friends who happens to be in my book club and happens to be a secret Disney nerd made me and sent me some wonderful Disney-inspired artist stamps. So she sent them all here, which is fantastic, in a beautiful card. Her name is Danny, and I thought I'd just share one or two of them with you. I won't go over all of them, but I'll tell you a secret. I don't have like a huge love for any one character at Disney, but I am quite the fan of Mary Poppins, and I love the original movie. I have always loved that movie. I like the new movie, Mary Poppins Returns. I love Saving Mr. Banks. I love the story behind the Mary Poppins books and the making of the Disney movies. So you may see some Mary Poppins things appearing in my Magic Mail over the next couple of weeks. So one of the artist stamps she made, let's see if I can get this to work, is a Mary Poppins inspired artist stamp. I love it. I'm just so excited. I have a little notebook that I take to Disney. It's just a small passport size traveler's notebook, and if you're interested in what I collect in that, I can elaborate a little more. If that's not your cup of tea, I totally understand. A lot of people aren't into Disney, but I just thought it would be a fun twist on things. Next thing I'm going to open is something I ordered from Etsy. I am super excited about this because this does tie into letter writing, and it's something I wanted for the Magic Mail project. And it's a wax seal, and I bet you can guess what the wax seal is. Let's see if I can get it to show up, but it is Mary Poppins. Yay! Yes, they have a wax seal for just about everything, and I know I need another wax seal, like I need a hole in my head, but I couldn't resist. I'm so excited about that. And last but not least, like I said, with the Bon Vivant on a budget, one of the things that I do is a capsule wardrobe, and all of my t-shirts for the parks, I apply that same capsule wardrobe idea to any clothes we wear to the parks, and I do like themed t-shirts for the different parks we go to. So I thought I'd show you. This is my latest purchase. Yay, Mary Poppins. Anyway, that's all for now. I'd love your input on this. This is kind of a test trial video and to see if people are still interested. I did get, like I said, quite a bit of feedback on my Instagram poll, and people said they were interested, so I thought I'd give it a shot, and we'll see what happens. Thank you so much if you made it this far. This is a long video. It's probably the longest one I've ever made. So if you made it this far, I really appreciate it, and we'll see what happens with paper stamps.